at this show and I thought I would pop in. I'm hanging out in the car for a second. And honestly, this show sucks. There are like 40 vendors and like no people. And we've made like $50. And it was $25 to sell here. It was themed, so I am dressed up. But yeah, I'm like really over it. So I keep taking breaks in the car, and James is here to help, so we'll see how it goes in the end. Today is Sunday, we are home from the event, and let's talk. So, I think you some clips we dressed up. I dressed up, so it was Rocky Horror Picture Theme, and I dressed up as Magenta, and my husband James dressed up as Griffith, and it was very fun. A lot of other vendors were dressed up. A lot of kids that came through were dressed up, but not as much as their parents. But yeah, no, we had a really fun time with the dressing part. However, the event was from 10 to 6, and it was at Fairgrounds, which I felt like was going to be a really good event. You know, the person in charge had been talking about it, and there was a little bit of communication issues. I was supposed to have been told about it and been in a group chat, and I was not. And so I ended up finding out stuff through Facebook, which all worked out. You know, it was fine. They provided us an 8-foot table, which I really appreciate because I hate having to bring tables with us, especially because it was an hour and a half drive, and tables just take up a lot of room in the car. I don't use the van when we go long distances. I use my personal vehicle, which is a Blazer. So yeah, and then as for the event itself, it was incredibly slow. It was not well advertised, and it was actually one of the few events I left early. It was miserable. I was like literally taking breaks in the car. I was crocheting as much as I could, and I was still bored. I worked on a Beetlejuice character, which is awesome, and I'm glad I had time to do that because I really needed to work on him. But also, like, we were there from 10 to 4. We got there at 8, and we walked away with $80, not including how long it took, like the amount of time it took, so like getting paid per hour, and not including the booth rent. Booth rent was $25, which is very low, but we had our gas, and that's like a 3-hour round trip, so that like wasn't great. So we got home and we unloaded the car, and that was that. Thankfully we got home earlier than expected, so that was kind of nice, honestly. But overall, it just was not great. The person that put it on was super sweet, and we had some great vendors around us, but the vendors were kind of from everywhere. So this was in Peru, Indiana, and people were from Greenwood, Lafayette, Indianapolis. Like, people were, including us, were driving like a decent distance for this. And a lot of them were first-time vendors, which I guess should have been a red flag for me there. But it was just not good. It was not good. I don't know if it just wasn't well advertised or like what the problem was. But yeah, I definitely won't be doing another event by that person again. We are going to that same location next weekend. Because we signed up for a paranormal convention, and it's just one of those things that you don't know how it goes until it goes. So hopefully, because it's at the same area, well, at least we know where we're going. and whatnot, but hopefully it goes a lot better. I haven't seen a whole lot of advertisement, but it does have like double the amount of followers on Facebook, and there's a lot of really interesting people going. So I don't know, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of vendors selling things, like retail vendors. It seems like a lot more of like the paranormal experience, like people that do ghost hunting, people that talk to, that are like more mediums, people that talk to ghosts, and people that can communicate to the other side, and things like that. So we'll see how it goes. I'm really curious, but I will take you along with that as well, and kind of go from there.